สวัสดีครับผมพีทนะครับวันนี้กีตาร์ไทยอินเตอร์วิวชแนลนะครับมีโอกาสพิเศษครับพาทุกท่านมาพูดคุยกับคู่หูมือกีตาร์ดาวรุ่งพุ่งแรงนะครับที่คาดว่าทุกคนน่าจะอยากคุยกับพวกเขานะครับขอเชิญทุกท่านพบกับมือกีตาร์จากวง Polyphia นะครับคุณทิม Henson แล้วก็คุณ Scotty LePage นะครับ Hello Tim Hello Scott
Hi
Yeah
Hi.
How you doing
Good Thanks for having us
Okay so first one what is your musical background How did you start playing guitar
I started playing violin at the age of 3 and then at 10 I saw my dad pick up a guitar and apparently he played and I had no idea. He's been playing all of his life but didn't play for the first 10 years of my life. And then I saw him do that and I was like, wow, that's way cooler than violin. So that's how I started.
So you also play other instrument
Yeah.
Violin
Mm-hmm.
For me, pretty much my dad. Same thing as Tim. I was 10 years old and I walked into a room and he was playing guitar really well. And I pretty much just thought to myself, I want to learn how to do that too. So he taught me how to play guitar. A couple years later, I took lessons from a guy who lived down the street for like a couple years. And yeah, I just like, when I was a kid, just started focusing on like learning things by ear and stuff like that.
Okay and who's your idol musical idol your inspiration
As far as like inspiration goes, it's not necessarily like one person. I guess for like idolizing people and like things like that, like main inspirations, I'd have to say my dad just because he's the person who like got me into it. But as far as like inspirations like musically goes, I kind of focus on specific genres of music. Like I really like electronic music and like things like that because it's like different and interesting.
For an idol, I'd have to say Drake just because I want to be Drake. So.
You play both 6 and 7 string guitar, right? 7 string sometime, right?
No.
Not really 7 string.
Okay.
We have one 8 string. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an 8-string guitar.
Yeah.
And what tuning do you use on both 6 string and 8 string?
We use drop D in standard for 6 string and then drop E for 8 string.
Yeah, drop E, and there is one part on one of our new songs on the new EP that I recorded, like just one part with the 8-string guitar that I recorded in
F sharp.
It's F sharp is the standard for an 8-string, right? Okay, it's an F standard then.
So half step.
Yeah, a half step down from the standard tuning on an 8-string.
Okay. And how do you approach your fingerboard? How do you see the fingerboard of the guitar?
Mostly like modal, but really mostly like by ear. Like I can look at it and know that like each fret will like give me a certain sound in comparison to where I am on the fretboard with other things. Like I know where my intervals are, my octaves and things like that. So, yeah.
So it's kind of like a relative pitch.
Yeah, relative pitch and shapes, things like that.
For me, I like to kind of just picture shapes, like like pentatonic shapes and things like that, and like modal shapes. But going back to what Tim says, it really is like a sound thing, Like I kind of like to. I mean, you don't want to get stuck in like that shape,
Yeah.
So
So
you kind of
it's like you connect the sound in your brain with your finger, right?
Yeah, I just venture out and just kind of like slide around a lot onto the guitar neck and do
Okay. And in your song, there are a lot of guitar technique like alternate picking, legato, tapping. How did you practice all those things?
Start really slow and with a metronome.
For me, it's kind of like I write the part first and then like kind of practice it later type of thing, or with some parts at least. So I'll like come up with something cool in my head and I'll like just practice it real quick and like get it down on the computer and then like work on it more.
Okay. And as your Polyphia music is like a pop to goes progressive, right? there's a lot of like polyrhythm, time signature change. How do you learn all those stuff, and how do you write the complex rhythm part?
For that, it's like I can think of an example in the song "Storm" on Renaissance. That was kind of just like that was an interesting song because the drums kind of like do like a different time signature rhythm than the guitars, and then like they synchronize up later, and that was kind of just something that happened by accident almost because I had written a part, and then Tim actually wrote the first part of that song, and then when I started writing to it, I kind of just had like a different vibe going on in my head. And then when we brought it to the studio and put drums on it, it was just like, I don't know, they had like a different vision for it, and it all kind of happened that way.
It's also interesting to like start a part, like a certain riff or something, and it has one feel, but then to realize that you can change feels, but also keep the same like
Pulse.
keep
the pulse going.
Yeah, but it's just a slightly different feel, So like experimenting with that can make things interesting for sure.
Yeah. So most of them are from like playing, feeling, right? Not like mathematics stuff.
No, none that.
Yeah.
It's all feeling.
Okay. And any advice for your fans who want to learn all those stuff? I think it's pretty tricky for if they want to learn the complex rhythm stuff. Any advice for them?
Slow it down. Just like listen to it a lot, study it a lot, and slow it down.
Try to count. Try to count the pulse, or
counting and really just really knowing the music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like knowing it like the back of your hand so that you can sing with it. And like hit all the hits. So.
Okay, and the melody is like a heart of the song, and your Polyphia music melody is like killer. So how do you compose all those melody parts?
The best melodies should be easy, and a lot of the best melodies come from like just straight up in your head. And it shouldn't take work for a good melody. You know what I mean? It should just be easy. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And when you start compose a song, what is your process? Melody first, or?
Sometimes, there's a lot of different ways that we go about starting to write a song. Sometimes it's, we'll just come up with a melody and like transfer it to guitar and like record it or something. And then other times we'll start with like synth stuff, like production, and kind of just mess with like drum beats and like chord progressions and things of that nature. And sometimes I'll have an idea and I'll send it to Tim. I'll get it down and I'll send it to Tim, or vice versa, and we'll kind of like write on each other's parts.
Yeah. And when you're making an album, so what is your process? It's like you write all the song and then make it into album, or do you have like concept for the album? Or?
Sometimes we do. For Renaissance, there was a definite concept.
We went into that one knowing that we were going to make it a concept.
Like every song definitely had to have a certain vibe, and as we started piecing it together, we were like, wow, this record really feels like Renaissance.
Yeah.
Same with Inspire. For Muse, it was kind of just like, here's a song. These are all different vibes, and we're kind of showcasing all the different sounds that we can do. And for this newest EP that we just did, it's kind of just like, let's just have fun with it.
Yeah.
There's quite a few different vibes, and
it's pretty unique compared to all the other stuff we've done, especially on the production side.
Yeah.
You came here to Bangkok, Thailand for Ibanez Guitar Clinic, right? So now both of you using Ibanez guitars. Could you talk more about it, and what makes you fall in love into Ibanez guitar?
Really, I really like this and this.
Yeah.
The locking system with the tremolo.
yeah.
And they're really good guitars that just like shred and they're versatile. Like I can do like clean stuff with them really well too. They feel good to play and they look really cool. So
the new prototypes that we just got have like baked maple necks. And those are my favorite necks. Like anything
they feel
that's
very
thicker.
good.
It's thicker and it's baked. So it's like not glossy or anything. It's almost like a matte kind of feel. What is that called? It's like a
Oh, I forgot.
I don't know. It's just like it's almost like a matte finish.
Yeah, satin.
Satin.
Finish.
Yeah, it's like it's like satin
So
feel.
it's fast and smooth.
Yeah, very smooth, and it just feels good. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it's definitely my favorite Ibanez guitar that I
So
have.
that's when we've seen it on the music video.
We actually don't have any music videos with that.
With that one.
Yeah, not yet. But yeah, it's the one that we've been playing live up until this. So
Yeah, and it's interesting to kind of like write with a guitar like that feels really good like that because you write different things
Yeah,
than
so
you would.
it
with
make
like
you
a
feel
guitar like this.
different, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And about the other stuff you used, gear, effect, amp, what do you use?
For this clinic tour, we're using the atomic amplifier thing. And that's cool because we just like plug it in and like preset 1, 2, and 3 sounded good enough for us to just use.
very good sounding little pedal preamp thing.
So
Yeah.
you put it into the return of the amp.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And at the studio, what do you use?
Mostly Axe effects, and we just used a bit of bias while we were there this time around. But yeah, Axe
Yeah.
effects.
And recording album, also fractal?
Yeah.
That's effect.
Mhm.
Right. Completely system. No amp?
No, not yet.
Yep.
But yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe the last one. What is the most important thing that guitarists should pay attention to, but they are not? They forgot.
This is an easy one.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, just have fun. Like I don't know how many students I've had in the past that just
They make it like a
don't
chore
seem-
to
yeah, like-
practice. It's like, bro, this should be fun.
And
And
then
you
you-
should like doing this. Like,
yeah, and you'll give them things to practice and they won't do it, and you're just like, well, why didn't you do it? And they're like, I don't know. It's like, well, obviously you're not finding a way to have fun with it.
I don't teach those kids.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you get the like.
Sometimes you get
that's
those
when you
kids.
know not to teach them again.
So have
Yeah.
fun with it.
They'll come back if they wanna
Yeah.
learn, but yeah, just have fun with it and
Okay.
practice.
Yeah.
Okay. Any words for Thai fan?
Thanks for liking us enough to bring us here.
Yeah, and hopefully next time we come here, we'll have Clay and Clay with us.
Yeah, bring the full band to
Yeah.
come hang out. So,
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I hope you come back again with full band.
Yes,
Right.
us too.
ครับผมก็ต้องหวังว่าคงจะสนุกกันนะครับกับการพูดคุยกับทางคุณทิมและคุณสกอตตี้นะครับก็ยังไงผมต้องขอบคุณฮงเซ้งมิวสิกมาที่นี้ด้วยนะครับสำหรับการจัดกิจกรรมดีๆแบบนี้นะครับแต่เดี๋ยวรอดูกันว่ากีตาร์ไทยอินเตอร์วิชั่นแนลเทปหน้าพาไปคุยกับใครนะครับวันนี้ผมลาไปก่อนนะครับสวัสดีครับ